Welcome to Channel 40 News for Milton Keynes. We took a 2-day break over the weekend because we were busy on a major project which we'll announce at the end of the news programme. So let's just take you quickly through the headlines, and just for people that are unsure about where this information comes from, it's all in the Facebook group Milton Keynes Beating the Coronavirus. So what you need to do is listen just to the headlines that we go through, which takes about 5 minutes, and we'll give you the highlights of maybe 15 or 20 top stories, and then you can go onto the Facebook group. Better than that, you can actually send us news and information and education and events that you want to feature in this Milton Keynes Channel 40 news. So let me just take you into the news of the day. So we ended the weekend with the Queen's message to the nation, which gave everybody good heart. Perfect message, brilliant presentation and words. I think they mean a lot to a lot of people out there, especially those who are out in the front line, but more importantly, a message of unity for the whole community. And of course, our Prime Minister, Boris, is one of us. He is suffering from coronavirus, and we hope that he can just slow down a little bit and give his body time to recover. It's no good carrying on the job like he's doing and trying to fight something as vicious as COVID-19. We also put up on the care side a little video that we did in tribute both to George Michael, who was a great fan of the NHS, and also the nurses and all the frontline staff. What we're going to do is update that video. So every day we're going to add the names of the fallen, and what we'd like you to do is try and share that video out. We're going to announce at the end of this news programme something special, and it will allow people to donate to the NHS charities. So, moving on, the sad news was, of course, that we lost 22 Milton Keynes people. Yet that is the total that have died at MK Hospital. But there was good news. So we try and feature balance, and what happened was that the new cases, there were none actually yesterday. We'll look very keenly at the figures that come out today, but that is a really good indicator for our community. The other news on the care side is that we've got an urgent care centre opening, and that is Parkside Medical Centre, now open 7 days a week to try and take the pressure off Milton Keynes University Hospital. And we've also been accepted to a new specialist group. Now this group is there to help the wellness of frontline staff. You can see that they are pushing themselves to the very limits, and we've seen, as we said in the George Michael tribute video, the fallen starting to mount up. So it's vital that they have all the best wellness to try and protect them, as well as PPE. We have also posted information that we've found about virtual church service. There's been a lot of talk about those, but this is Milton Keynes' very own Christ the Cornerstone church, which is doing virtual services, and you can see the recordings of those on the website we've posted in our Facebook group. If there are any religious groups that are trying to put together virtual services and prayer, then please do put those listings up on our Facebook group. We'll start a special group topic for those particular types of community organisations. On the sharing side, we discovered that Sam Crooks, the mayor, has got his own very good information coming out, which he's putting into a blog each day. We wish to try and support that, so we've put the link to the Mayor of MK, and you can see a lot of information, perhaps more information than we're getting from the council themselves, in terms of all the good things that are happening at the top. And we also had a video update from the CEO posted just at the beginning of the weekend, but we still feel it's relevant, and we I believe Joe Harrison, the CEO, is pushing these out every 2 or 3 days. So we'll try and catch these, but it's a message to the whole population as well as his own staff that I think is very important to share. And a good idea was posted, all those pubs and clubs with stuff that's approaching its sell-by date, please give it to the MK Food Bank. So we've had a post that we picked up on MKFM from the local councillors encouraging sports and social clubs to donate. So again, pick that up on our Facebook page and try and contribute if you own a pub or a club. There's also been an appeal for getting prescriptions. There are a number of volunteer groups already linked, but there are so many people that need some help, whether they're in self-isolation or they're vulnerable. And you've got a link from the leader of Milton Keynes Council, an urgent appeal to get the prescriptions collected and delivered back to those people, especially the vulnerable people in Milton Keynes. Now then, this is my biggest moan. The banks are at it again. They had the Chancellor of Exchequer grumble at them a few days ago. And the news in the National Press Conference by 10 Downing Street was that only 1,000 loans amongst all these major banks have been approved in the last 2 weeks, which I think personally, I think every single small business that is facing serious issues should go to their MPs' messaging and actually lobby to try and get the message that we are in serious trouble. I talked to a friend who runs a recruitment agency. She's spent 25 years building that business up. She's furloughing all her staff, and she is facing potential ruin. She is just one of, I guess, probably thousands of small businesses in Milton Keynes, like my own, that are in the same boat. So please lobby your MP. On the protection side, the big story of the day came from John Martin, who shared a post, and we've had a lot of interactions, I think showing public support for zero tolerance with the group of lads and lasses, or I think there's one girl in that group, who've been causing trouble down Monkston and Kent's Hill. So if you can campaign with the police, they are getting calls, they are trying to respond, but just highlight the very few idiots and thugs and nasty people that we do not want behaving like this. We want the police on top of them, and we want fines going out to the parents if they're not old enough to be fined themselves. But a lot of support for that, so thank you very much, Milton Keynes. And there's also a little bit of advice that we pushed out for community leaders, people putting their own groups and charity sites up, regarding data protection. A very friendly and useful blog on all the do's and don'ts, and a template that you can use, and we'll put the link in our Facebook group so you can get all the best guidance so you keep your community or charity group compliant with data protection. And we also had Sara Montague adding to a post that we pushed up about using the masks to prevent coronavirus spread when we're out in public. And very importantly, she says that we need to do proper cleansing, and she gave sanitary advice. There's some good advice already posted about using the right substances, but essentially also the NHS and the government are trying to reuse PPE if they can. So basically, don't spread coronavirus if you're out there on the front line. Follow the advice from Sara Montague. And we also had the application for business grants coming out on Friday. We let everybody know over the weekend. Fee Humphreys posted that she's already done hers. This is for retail businesses. So if you are a retail business, a pub, a club, somebody that is in the high street, then there is money now in Milton Keynes to try and help bail you out. And finally, remember Channel 40. Well, most of you probably have never heard of it, but people like me who've been in Milton Keynes for over 30 years remember that when we had our early cable television on copper, this was revolutionary. It was the ability for the people in Milton Keynes to make their own programs, education, news, documentaries. So What we've been working on over the weekend is a way of actually getting that all engineered, and Facebook is a very, very good solution for people posting news and information and starting to assemble stuff. But what I found, and I used to hate Facebook, I used to tell people steer clear of it, it's a mess, I don't like it, it will never do anybody any good, and I had to eat my words. And over the last 3 weeks I've had to learn all about it, and I think it's fabulous. So I'm not knocking Facebook. The problem is, in Milton Keynes we have far too many groups all doing great things separately, and also websites and organisations, and there is no Milton Keynes news service. The BBC and the ITV really don't care unless it's an axe murdering story or somebody's died, or the sort of stuff that sells newspapers. And in this locality, we can actually recreate the spirit of Milton Keynes Channel 40 by using a combination of Facebook and something special that we've been working on, and I will give you a preview of it in a second. Just going to get the website up. This is the tricky bit. I have to do this in flight, and hopefully, here you go. This is a preview of what's coming out. Now, there's a lot more work got to be done on this over the next 24 hours. But we've got our signature George Michael video, which will be keeping log of nationally the NHS sacrifice and donation page. That comes very top. Then we have the button here, which will link you to the Facebook group for the latest news and posts, and exactly what we're trying to do. A not-for-profit, a new not-for-profit organisation. At the moment I'm funding this personally, but essentially we promise to bring you more up-to-date content than any other digital service to care and protect our communities. And you can post news in the Facebook group, and the best stories will appear there. Then we'll have a news summary here. This is just our general extra protection video, but the news will appear there of the day or the most recent news. Then below that we'll have some sections which are to do with Milton Keynes beating the coronavirus. So we'll take the very best stories that have appeared in our group, or we've been able to find around, all of the best news and information all in one place. Food banks, mental health, local community support groups, MK charities. There are some sites that have some of this, but nothing as comprehensive as what we are about to launch. Then we're going to have helping you cope with COVID-19. So essentially, everything from the big topic at the moment is the rise in domestic abuse and violence, mental health coping skills and help, fraud and scams, family and personal finance support, Milton Keynes business recovery, which is going to be key for our community. We are a community of entrepreneurs and contractors. And then maternity and parental support. And then finally, to try and keep our days as sweet as possible, we're going to have things to learn, to do and watch. So we'll have the education and children's activities, the best resources there and links there. We're going to have the top MK social media groups all featured, and then we're also going to put some brilliant art, music and entertainment, a lot of it homegrown. So that's what we've been working on. That's why we were down over the weekend. A lot more work to be done on this, but I am hoping to get this website operational by tomorrow. With that, I'd like to thank you very much for watching Milton Keynes Channel 40 News. Stay safe, stay locked down. Goodbye.